Hello everyone, I'm Adam. In this problem, for a given equation that we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x equal to 16, we want to solve that equation and check our solutions. So starting to take a look at what we have. Well, we have x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x and equal to 16. Essentially, we have a polynomial. So if we can bring everything over to one side and get an equation set equal to 0, maybe we can try factoring it. So that's what we'll start to do. So the only thing we have to do is bring our 16 over to the left side. So that'll give us, say, x cubed plus 2x squared minus 8x, subtracting 16. We have minus 16, and set equal to 0. Now, how can we factor this? Well, looking right off the bat, we don't have any common factors which will come out of all of our terms. But if we kind of look at maybe grouping a little bit, if we look at the first two terms, we have x cubed and x squared, we could factor out an x squared. And the last two terms, we have a negative 8 that can be factored out. So let's try that. So we said with the first two, let's factor out an x squared. If we bring out an x squared, we'll have x squared times the quantity x plus 2. And our last two terms, if we factor out a negative 8, we'll have negative 8 times the quantity, also x plus 2, and that's equal to 0. So now what can we do? Well, now we have a common factor, namely this x plus 2, which we can factor to the outside. So if we bring this x plus 2 term out, we'll have x plus 2 times the quantity, say x squared minus 8, and that's all equal to 0. So now we have the left-hand side factored, set equal to 0. So now we can set each individual factor equal to 0 and continue to solve from there. So we'll do that. We'll take our x plus 2, set that equal to 0, and our x squared minus 8, set equal to 0, and solve both of these. So x plus 2 equal to 0, we just subtract 2 from both sides and get x equals negative 2. And for our x squared minus 8, we'll add 8 to both sides, giving us x squared equals positive 8. And taking square root of both sides, we'll get x is equal to plus or minus the square root of 8. So what we have here is a potential 3 solutions. X equals negative 2. And x equals positive the square root of 8, and x equals negative the square root of 8. So now what we're going to do is check the solutions. So we'll go ahead and check these. And we'll start with, say, x equal to negative 2. So what we want to do when we check a solution, is plug the value of x back into our equation, and get a true statement. So since all of our x's are on the left-hand side, we'll start by plugging x equals negative 2 into the left-hand side and see if we arrive at 16. So doing that, we have x cubed. We're taking negative x cubed, or negative 2 cubed, plus 2 times negative 2 squared, minus 8 times negative 2, and we see what we have. So negative 2 cubed is going to give us a negative 8. 2 plus negative 2 squared, 2 times negative 2 squared, give us a positive 8. And negative 8 and negative 2 give us a positive 16. And so we see that our negative 8 and positive 8 will leave us with 16, which of course is equal to our right-hand side, 16. So x equals negative 2 is a solution. Now we'll check x equals, say, the positive square root of 8. I'm just going to do the same thing. So we'll have, say, the square root of 8 cubed plus 2 times square root of 8 squared minus 8 times, say, the square root of 8. And what do we get? Well, I'm not going to evaluate these completely, but we can notice that square root of 8 cubed, we'll just write that as 8 to the 3 halves. And square root of 8 squared is going to be 8 times 2, which will give us plus 16. And minus 8 times square root of 8, adding exponents, thinking of this as 8 to the first power. So 8 to the first power times 8 to the 1/2 will give us a minus 8 to the 3 halves. And what happens? Our positive 8 to the 3 halves and negative 8 to the 3 halves cancel. And so we're left with just 16. So x equals positive square root of 8 is the solution. And lastly, we'll look at x equals negative square root of 8. So plugging in, taking negative square root of 8 cubed plus 2 times negative square root of 8 squared and minus 8 times negative square root of 8. Well, we kind of have the same thing we did before. If we cube negative root of 8, the negative is going to stay, but we'll have negative 8 to the 3 halves. Right. Squaring negative root of 8 will just give us positive 8 times 2. We'll have plus 16. And negative 8 times negative square root of 8 will give us a positive 8 to the 3 halves power. And we have our negative 8 to the 3 halves cancels with our positive 8 to the 3 halves. And so we're left with just 16. So x equals negative square root of 8 is also a solution. So there we go. Thank you very much.